Now I have to talk, please be seated, to little bit to the Australians. And because for me, Australians, English, French, all of you are my children. And we all should know everything about everything. So there should be no exclusion of Australians or anybody. This can happen to anyone. And Australia being such a powerful Sahaja country, that it has happened there, a very sad thing. We have had 3 shocks, one after another in Australia. I think there are 2 types of people in Australia. One type who are all the time very dominating type and try to take over. And there's another type which is extremely obedient and subservient. They haven't kept their heads open. You are all Sahajogis. And nobody has business to dominate you or to take advantage of you or to organize you in that way. Any leader who does that has to pay for it very heavily. And also the part that the wife has to play as the leader's wife, she has to understand that she is just a mother and she has no authority as a leader's wife. In case of Australia, we have had lots of problems because Australians have a special feeling for their wives. I don't know why, in Sahaja, otherwise not. I think the greatest temptation they have is to have a family. Australians have this greatest temptation that we must have a family, we must look after our family, this, that. And this might have come because people have seen broken families, they have seen the problems of broken families, and there have been so much writings about it that we should not neglect our family, we should look after our children, look after our wives, and this and that. Of course, in Sahaja Yoga, we respect family very much, but not beyond the bigger family. About James, I have to tell you one thing, that he gave me the greatest shock. The first shock came from his cousin, whom you know, Terence, whose wife was Indian, but she also in his ego became like a small Mataji. She used to order about, I will have this, I will not. They would occupy my room and enjoy that. Then came Mr. Warren. He was another horrid fellow. You see, such leaders are coming out of that place. I am surprised. Then he came here. He never told me that he was paid money or he collected money, nothing of the kind. I never knew anything. Only once in that debate, somebody remarked that he has been collecting money. So I asked him, what money are you collecting? Without my knowledge, he did so many things, and I've never known such people before. Though I was telling him, your Nabi is catching, Muladhara catching, this, that, but I never knew that there could be people of that level. So we had, in the same relationship, James there. James was a very simple man, no doubt. When he first came to see me, he was very upset. I said, James, why are you upset? He said, Mother, I have an air hostess. I'm telling you all these things because I have to talk to you about it. An air hostess who is my wife, but she doesn't stay with me. She has to stay in Sydney. I'm working here. And I don't know why she doesn't write to me much. I go send her presents. I see her very often. All that. So I told her, James, if you don't mind, I'll tell you the truth. He said, no, Mother, please tell me the truth. I said, already she's carrying on with another man. She has nothing to do with you. And he was shocked. Then I soothed him. I said, you better call her. So we went to Sydney and called her, and she got herself very nicely dressed. She came for the dinner. And there she openly told him that she's already living with another man. That's how he came to Sahaja Yoga. So his first marriage was broken. After coming to Sahaja Yoga, he wanted to have another marriage. That was all right. Then this girl died. She wanted to marry him. No, I have no idea about this homosexuality, to be very frankly. Today I don't understand what is this nonsense. And that the women are homosexual, I've never heard of this before. We have never known. I didn't know that she was that kind of a person. But of course she was not so normal, not so this thing, but she was after me, she wanted to marry Terence and then to James. I told her Terence is no good for you, but James you can marry. She was after me that she wanted to get married. All right, I said you can marry James. There were not many girls in those days, but James wanted to have a wife somehow. So he married this girl. Now I have got letters which Matthias has given me, written from his wife who went down. I agree that his wife carried lots of boots with him, but the fraternity worked and she and other 8 girls just jumped on her. And they formed a formidable group there, which I have got now, complete record and complete report about them, how they were dominating. They were very hard women, dominating all the rest of them there. And such regulations and rules she started. It happened in the beginning when I asked her to get out and go to Ruth, because the ladies came and told me. She went to Ruth, there she knew that she will lose everything, she behaved herself nicely, everything. I said, all right, you go back. So it was not a possession, but a kind of that homosexual aggressiveness in her. Then Matthias has given me her letters when she went, his wife went there. And it's absurd letters. She used to sleep with her, and she used to hug her, she used to kiss her, and do all kinds of things with a lady who has gone there to get cured. And they were very important people. She was a very important person. Another person I know is Patrick's wife. She went down there, and she didn't get better. On the contrary, she became worse. And I told Patrick, and Patrick has been there. He was so much influenced by these 2 persons because they tried to show that all the rest of the world is very bad, they are very unkind, we are very loving people, we are very nice, this, that, and Patrick is something great. You see, just pampered his ego perhaps. Poor Patrick is such a simple-hearted fellow. He came to France, and I have to speak that time. I said, Patrick, why don't you translate me? He just couldn't utter a word. He was tongue-tied. He said, Mother, what has happened to me? He said some honeybees or something has got him. I said, no honeybees, this is some Australian honeybees. So one must understand that though the quantity of Australians has increased, quality has to go up. More of group farming is a very common thing in Australia, which is very wrong. When you are increasing this way, you must know that we must also increase this way. And all this happened last year when the Indians also reported to me that Australians are all possessed. I said, really? Yes. They are always saying, Australia is great, Australia is great, and they are saying all these things. And they said they were taking their own decision. There was one Mr. Charles was off his head. He was like a Hitler. That's what the Indians told me. I was quite shocked. Then they lost the sari, they found the sari, and I could see now there's something going on. My attention was not there. But on my birthday, I telephoned to James because not a single flower came from Australia on my birthday. As it is, I have noticed one thing with this lady, his wife. She has been extremely miserly as far as giving presents to me. I mean, so miserly. It's so stupid the way she gave me a little brooch like that once when I came for Australian tour. She need not have given. And she sent with this, and even after all this, she sent me a nylon, what you call that, is for keeping handkerchiefs, a little packet like that. So stupid, she has no sense of any kind. And she was getting from bad to worse. And on this side, you see, when I telephoned from my house, they said James has gone. Nobody wished me anything on the phone, nothing. James has gone to New Zealand. I said, all right. I telephoned to New Zealand. What I find, he didn't wish me. I said, James, do you know today is my birthday? Oh, yes, yes. Yesterday we celebrated in Australia. What? You can't even say, Mother, happy returns or something. Not a single flower to me. As if my photograph has become the reality and I have become unreal. See how this kind of thing works. This is a mass mesmerism. What happened to Hitler can happen to you all, is a mass mesmerism. Because of this lady, she had such a grip over him. I knew this. And I told him many a times, you have only one weakness, James, that your first marriage was a failure and you want to show that your second marriage is successful. And that's why you are running after your wife and you are so much at her feet. But know that you are her husband and you are the leader. So you are Sahajogis. You are the temple of God. You are special people. Australia especially has to be very, very careful. And also I think the Indians who went from here were not so good Sahajogis, I must admit. They turned out to be a little bit hanky-panky and not so deep. I agree with you. So the help came from nowhere. So we are just increasing sideways. Then they never consulted me on anything that they were sending money to Warren. I never knew. I also did not know that they had changed the school from Melbourne. When I saw the photograph of the children, they were all eyes were like this, you see. None of them had street eyes. Little babies. I said, what has happened? So concerned. Then I learned that they have changed the school from Melbourne. Then I learned, they never asked me, to Sydney, because his children were studying in the school. So it was all maneuvered for one family there. And people could not see that. They never told me that they were moving the school from there. And this gentleman, Paul, who was running the school, himself had a horrible wife. He had no children from her, nothing. And she wouldn't leave Sahajoga. And he was such a slave to her. I don't know what was in her, that woman. But she was such a catching woman that whenever she came in the room, even outside I could make out that she's there. Such a catching person. Right from Muladhara up to any point. And he never felt her. Very cunning also. Very cunning woman. She came to me and she said to me, Mother, teach me how to recognize you. I said, I'm sorry, I can't teach you that. That is the level of people who took over. In Sahajoga, I would not put them anywhere. Like Diane, like this lady, and Paul also. And now Paul and they have joined hands. And James, I think, would like to go out of Sahajoga because he must save his family, which is so precious for him. People do not realize what a tremendous work we are doing today in Sahajoga. What a great thing we are doing. Tomorrow, you will be the foundation stones of this great image I have about the golden age of the whole world. You are not ordinary people, and you shouldn't behave like ordinary people. Of course, if there's anything wrong, I can point it out and say to you. But even knowingly something wrong, if you do it, how far can I go with you? And this hugging business and this kissing business is just a vulgar thing, I think. There's no need. Of course, you can hug when you meet for the first time. From morning till evening, if you hug somebody 6 times, it's headache. There's no need to hug someone all the time and to kiss someone all the time. What is it? After all, if you meet somebody for the first time, you do feel that exuberance of your own expression of love, then you can hug somebody. And too much regulations in ashram is not allowed. You are all independent, free Sahajogis. You all should grow with your own independence. But it does not mean in any case that you should be rude to your leaders or anything. The leader has to be very fatherly and has to be very righteous and should not play into the hands of his wife. That's one thing sure. And then you people have to know that you are all individually Sajogis. None of these big rishis and munis could not give realization as you are giving. You don't know your powers. You don't know your position. And if some leader is of that kind, you should immediately write to me. I am still existing. So James has shocked me the most. I loved him so much, I have done so much for him. And he's played into the hands of his wife. I knew one day either he'll fall this way or that way. His children got terrible diseases. They would have been dead because of this woman. She's not deep, she has no feelings for me, nothing of the kind. She would buy I would go in the bathroom, I would see every time, very expensive toilet, what you call them, makeups, and I never used these things, never. So I used to wonder for whom is she buying. Every time I went, she bought something very expensive, something French, Swiss, this, that, kept there. For whom? And she would every time change all the curtains and everything and all that. For whom? I am just wondering how many of you can understand that a person without any depth cannot lead you anywhere. Anybody who tries to show off, if you run after that person, that means you have not fathomed your own depth. You must know what is your depth. And don't get impressed by somebody because he can dominate you very well and he can go about. Just stand on your own two legs and see for yourself. I don't believe in any rules and regulations for Sajogis as such. That you can meet your wife only at this time, husband at that time. You are Swachanda. Swa is your spirit and Chanda is at the disposal of your Atma. And when you are that, you become absolutely collective also. And these jealousies and this petty-mindedness is not necessary. You are all universal personalities. You have to be that great. You don't belong to any country. Just to make it convenient, you see, I use the name of the countries. But if I say north, south, east, west, I don't know how will I manage it. Because the whole system otherwise works this way, that you have our Qantas going to Australia, you have this to that. So you have to take to these countries as such, but for me they don't exist. Even the directions don't exist for me. You are all my children. And I just can't think in that way. Please don't consider yourself anyway, even if you are away from me, all my attention is there. And you all can directly write to me. You can all send me flowers directly. They said the rule was that it is to be done through the leaders. Not at all. You can send me flowers anytime you want to. I mean, my relationship is, who are these leaders? Just, it's a mockery, you should understand that. It's a mockery. One should not in any way think that they stand in between you and me, not at all. Only thing is if somebody is troublesome or possessed or something, then naturally you can try to keep that person out. But he's not a Sahajogi by any chance. But otherwise, there should be no barrier between you and me. I'll not stand it at any cost. No barrier between any one of you and me. And you should never feel shy to tell me. You should always tell me what your problems are. Always. I am always available for you, for every one of you, each one of you. One should never just decide that, all right, mother may not like. I may like or not like is not the point. You have to tell me. I will like it more that you tell me than not to tell me and hide things from me. There's no official relationship between me and you. It is a protocol after all, but protocol doesn't mean official. Protocol means when you are addressing to me, you can just not call, hey, you, like that you cannot say to me. And even if you say, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind, after all. But children don't say that way. So a certain amount of understanding should be there. And you must feel my love in your heart. That's all. I don't want to make anybody unhappy. Sahaja Yoga has come to make you extremely happy, joyous, and peaceful. That's the purpose. Not to disturb you by any chance, not to in any way irritate you or make you miserable. The other day I have said it, that those who do not want to continue with their marriages can take the divorces if they are miserable. But without rhyme and reason, one should not do that. It should not be a kind of a, now, if you do not enjoy each other's company, there's no force on you. I'll never be angry for that at all.